Boy, do I have some very cool stuff to share with you guys today. And greetings YouTube gamers, welcome to another episode of Retro Raider. My name is Johnny Retro and welcome back to the channel. Yeah, this is not going to be the typical pickups video. It is going to be a pickups video, but it is going to be dedicated only to retro vintage PC gaming stuff. I'm not a huge PC game collector, I'm not a huge PC gamer for that matter, but I'm started to get into, and even though I'm a console gamer, I love history of video games, and the truth is that there's a huge background of PC gaming history, and I'm very curious about it. I'm having a blast exploring the old school vintage PC gaming stuff, from the past of course, and it has been a really interesting experience. And you guys know, as you guys can see right here, that's why the new camera angle today. I'm a huge fan of the ZX Spectrum, so I got some interesting stuff to share with you guys today, and I'm also going to give a couple of shoutouts. However, if you guys are new on the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss a thing. Yeah, I'm excited, so let's do this, let's go on with the video and check out my brand new retro vintage PC gaming stuff right after this. Okay, number one. This is a classic ZX Spectrum game called Dunder. Classic game, this is one that I've heard about it. I actually played it, this one right here, on emulation. And now I have a original copy. This is a double jewel case copy, as you guys can see. I got this from my friends André, Leão. My friend, thank you so much. We worked on a trade. I actually had a double game that he wanted. And he told me to, pick from a bin that he had. And I picked this one, of course. And André is part of a great Portuguese ZX Spectrum community, a Facebook group called ZX Spectrum DIRECTO da ARRECADAÇãO. In English, well, the translation will be something like ZX Spectrum straight from the storage, but it's a very cool Portuguese community. And if you guys know, the ZX Spectrum, this is something that I didn't live, because it was not part of my generation, but ZX Spectrum was huge here in Europe, especially here in Portugal. So in this community, they share a lot of information, software preservation, hardware preservation, brand new releases. There's a ton of content out there. But back to Dunder. This is the first game of the trilogy. This is Dunder Pilots of the Future. It was released in 1986, developed by Gang of Five and published by Virgin Games and Electronic Arts. It also got a port on the Amstrad CPC and another port on the Commodore 64, and it is a game based on a British comic strip under the same name, Dunder. In this game we play as Dan, the protagonist, and it is an action game. We blast our way throughout the levels with the laser gun. We have to collect hidden pieces of an explosion device, and I believe that the Commodore 64 version is kind of different from the ZX Spectrum and the Amstrad CPC one, but hey, I never played that one. And the game actually got very good reviews and grades back in the day when it was released. It spawned two sequels, Dunder 2, Macon's Revenge, and Dunder 3, The Escape. Unfortunately, the box has a couple of dents, but I'm okay with that. The artwork is intact, and let me show you guys the actual cassette right here. And yeah, as you guys can see, original, one side, the other side. And if you guys can see right here with the glare, this is for the 48K and 128K. And yeah, it says right here on the back, one of the most famous comic strip heroes ever comes vividly to live in this superb arcade game from Virgin Games. Again, right here, I hope that you guys can read it. And yeah, this is one of the reasons why I love to collect for the ZX Spectrum. Just the physical media aspect of it, cassette tapes, it's very 80s, it's very cool. I never played cassette tape games back in the day. I did play cartridges, but I remember playing or hearing audio cassette tapes, music cassette tapes. And I know this is totally off topic, but my father had, this amazing stereo with a recorder, and he used to record me some of his favorite tracks, favorite songs. So I got to know a lot of music thanks to old school cassette tapes. Again, off topic, maybe that's one of the reasons why I love the physical media aspect of the ZX Spectrum. It is what it is. And yeah, Dunder, great game, great classic game. I love it on the ZX Spectrum. I think it looks beautiful on the PC. But that's not all that André got me. He also threw in another game and he told me, well, this is on the house. And it is Championship Baseball. Championship Baseball. Well, what can I say about the game? It is a baseball game. It was developed by Activision's GameStar division in 1986, and it got a release in pretty much every 8-bit and 16-bit home computer from back in the day. I'm talking about the Amstrad CPC, the Commodore Amiga, Commodore 64, Apple II, you name it. And it was actually a sequel to Star League Baseball, but I mean, it's a baseball game. And when it comes to these really old school sports games, I think that usually it's a hit or miss. Am I into baseball or sports games for that matter? Well, no, but again, this is an original release. Right here with the Portuguese sticker, this was actually an import. And of course, I have to show you guys the cassette tape right here. Nothing really special on the back. And another very cool thing for all of you guys that don't know that much about ZX Spectrum games. The cover, if you will, is actually the manual. So you fold it like this, sorry. And there you go, you have the manual of the game with all of the information you need. And a very important thing, guys, if you're planning to collect for the ZX Spectrum and play, of course, on the original hardware, manuals are important, pretty much like the Atari 2600 stuff. Some of these games are not very intuitive, and without a manual, you are going to be completely lost. So these are the two games that I got from André, my friend. Thank you so much, and guys, please feel free to check out ZX Spectrum Direto da Arrecadação. Link down below to the Facebook page. It's not page. Yeah, I'm definitely very happy with these picks. Next, more ZX Spectrum finds. Another double jewel case right here. This is Diamond. Let me tell you, I knew nothing about this game. This one right here, it's pretty much in a pristine condition, completed in box. Again, let me show you guys the cassettes right here, this time 2 cassettes. This one is from the actual game, and we got an extra one right here, the company she picks. And again, we have the information right here, also information about the other cassette tape, which is actually a single, a song. I would prefer an old school Metallica cassette tape, but that's asking too much. Now, about the game Diamond, and this is a weird one, even for the ZX Spectrum. This game was developed by 2 game designers, John Bigelow and Patty Rose Casanova. It was published in 1988 by Destiny Software. 1988, amazing year, I mean, it's my year. And what is this game all about? Again, this is a very weird game. It is a space exploration action game, but it looks good on the ZX Spectrum, but the problem that I found with this one was actually the controllers. They're kind of clunky. Still, guys, for the artwork alone, I mean, check this out. I think that it looks great. It's awesome. It's very sci-fi from the 80s. And yeah, another double jewel case game from my ZX Spectrum collection. One more ZX Spectrum game, and this is going to be an interesting one. This is a box set, card box set, like the ones that I have right here. A little game by a little company called Sega, and I'm talking about Galaxy Force. Unfortunately, this one, the cover got a little bit of sun faded, but I mean, I really can't complain about it. And I mean, it's a Galaxy Force box set for the ZX Spectrum by Sega. The ZX Spectrum 48K version was released in 1989. It was published by Activision. And the port on the ZX Spectrum, of course, that it is inferior compared to the other versions. But I mean, it's an impressive game for the ZX Spectrum 48K. It almost has this 3D vibe going on. Space shooter, very cool game by Sega, published by Activision on the ZX Spectrum. And let me show you guys the cassette tape. There you go, legit, right here. And it came with this awesome extra flyer right here. Let me show you guys really quick. So, 2 flyers actually, sorry. The first one right here. Here we got, of course, Power Drift. And on the back, we got 3 little games that you Sega fans might know it. Altered Beast right here, great game. Dynamite Ducks, another great game. And Super Wonder Boy, again, another great game. And this flyer is awesome. And the other one is a Ghostbusters 2 flyer from the Ghostbusters 2 game on the ZX Spectrum, which I actually have. Let me grab it for you guys. Let's try to do this without ruining everything. Right here, the big box version. Look at Viggo right there. That is a badass motherfucker. And another big shout out to my good friend Gilles from Retro Stu. He was the one that got me these 2 babies right here. Guys, please do yourselves a favor and check out Retro Stu on YouTube. This guy has an amazing retro gaming channel. If you like game chasing, if you like 8-bit and 16-bit content, I mean, he's really the guy for you. He has an amazing game room, an amazing game collection. A true retro gamer, this guy only plays 8 and 16-bit games, and he hooked me up with these amazing games for a very, very nice deal. So Gilles, thank you so much, my friend. However, I still got one more game to showcase to you guys, also from Retro Stu, and this time this is not for the ZX Spectrum. This is actually for Windows PC. This is a crazy one. This is Galactic Patrol. But as you guys can see right here, it is sealed. I mean, partially sealed. It got a little bit of a tear right here, but I'm okay with that because this is new old stock. I mean, Gilles always finds the most crazy and cool things out there in the wild. And yeah, aside from this and a little bit of dust, you know, within the interior of the plastic, this baby is pretty much brand new. It was never used. It was released here in Portugal, right here. As you guys can see, here's in Portuguese. I believe that this was for Windows 95 and Windows 98. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I never played this game. It's weird hanging out like this, but let's leave it right there. But the name Galactic Patrol, I mean, when Jill showed me this, it rang me a bell. I don't know, maybe I saw it back in the day. I think that this game was released in 95, mid-90s more or less. Yeah, even back in the day I was not a very big computer gamer, PC gamer. To be honest with you guys, I didn't have a computer back in the day when this game was released. I used to play a couple of computer games and computer classes. Yeah, I was playing games during classes. That's why I suck at computers. And Galactic Patrol, I mean, this is a 3D arcade stylish space shooter, 3D space shooter. And why did I got the game? Here's the thing. I'm not a big sealed game collector. As a matter of fact, I only got a couple of sealed games, all for the ZX Spectrum actually. But this one I actually thought about breaking the seal and actually give it a try and install the game on my Pentium 3 retro computer. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do it or not, but let me know guys, let me know about you. What do you think? Should I make a video on it? Breaking the seal of Galactic Patrol, install it on my Pentium 3 and give it a go? Let me know down below. Maybe I'll make a special episode on it. I don't know. Again, let me know. And there you go guys, these were my retro vintage PC gaming pickups that I got. And yeah, I'm very, very happy to add these bad boys to my collection. Again, special thanks to André Leão from ZX Spectrum, DIRECTO da ARRECADAÇÃO, link down below, and thank you my friend for the awesome trade. Another huge special thanks and shout out to my good friend Gilles, aka Retro Stu. Guys, don't forget, subscribe to Retro Stu channel. And very quickly guys, before I end up the video, two more shout outs to two very good friends. One, David from Deckard Games, my friend, thank you so much. This was the guy responsible for this bad boy right here, my Pentium 3 by Deckard Games. I have a full video on this retro PC build by David. I mean, it is one of the most awesome items in my game collection. It was without a doubt one of my favorites and best gifts ever. Amazing donation, my friend. And guys, please check out David, aka Deckard Games. This guy is pretty much the guru of retro gaming PC in Portugal. He knows everything about hardware. He builds retro PCs. He builds, you know, Windows 95 PCs, Windows 98, Pentium 3s, all the way to modern stuff as well. He talks about hardware. He talks about software. He collects big box, vintage big box PC gaming. This guy was a very big inspiration for me to get into big box PC gaming collecting. And yeah, thanks to David, I'm now exploring the beautiful world of vintage PC. Last but not least, a huge shout out to my good friend Pedro from It's a Pixel Thing. It's a Pixel Thing needs no introduction. This guy already has the major respect that he deserves from the retro gaming community on YouTube. Hands down, the best retro gaming channel in Portugal. And Pedro was one of the very first Portuguese channels that I started to watch back in the day on YouTube. Even though he makes English content. But truth be told guys, and this is way before I even started to make YouTube videos, even started to think about making a YouTube channel, It's a Pixel Thing was the guy responsible for my passion for ZX Spectrum. At the time, this was not very long ago, I'm talking about 5 years ago. I knew what the ZX Spectrum was, but I mean, I was more focused into the NES and the Mega Drive collecting. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I was never very much into, you know, PC gaming or vintage PC gaming for that matter, but I mean, Pixel got me hooked to the ZX Spectrum. This guy is a well of knowledge when it comes to the ZX Spectrum and to other 8-bit computer machines and 16-bit computers and also arcade games. He talks about hardware, he talks about software, he shares his childhood memories with these games. He also goes very deeply in detail about the brands, about the developers, about the companies that design these games. So please do yourselves a favor, guys, if you like the ZX Spectrum. It's a Pixel Thing channel, it's kind of the Portuguese Mecca for ZX Spectrum. Last but not least, special thanks to all of you guys. Thank you so much for watching, thank you for your amazing support, and let me know down below what are your thoughts on my recent vintage computer retro pickups. Let me know if you grew up with the ZX Spectrum, let me know if you collect big box PC games, and are you a PC gamer in general? Let me know down below. If you have the time and patience, guys, feel free to follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to put a like on this video, please subscribe to the channel, and take care of yourselves, take care of the retro PC gaming community, and game a lot.